What's up, guys? We got another big day for my basement fish room. I just added another Central American fish to the 220, and we got a special delivery from my favorite place to get a delivery from, even more so than a new fish. So let's unbox it together and dive right in. All right, guys, so what we have here is from Aqua Decor, the best in the business when it comes to aquarium decorations and backgrounds. I have them in both of my tanks, and it's just fantastic. So both of my tanks have been kind of set up for African cichlids, which don't have driftwood in their natural habitat. So they're just kind of rocky scapes and mainly open water scape for my 220, which used to be for predator haps. And ever since I switched over to Central Americans, I did want to make it more of a Central American biotope, which does include driftwood. However, I was a little bit hesitant on the driftwood because I really don't like tannins. But I knew that we would eventually need some line of sight breaks. Central American cichlids are a little bit more skittish, and they can be a little more aggressive to each other and territorial. So I don't want any fish to get picked on and chased around constantly. So those line of sight breaks are very important. So excited to get this package, and it's finally here in a perfect timing as well, because like I said, just added a new fish to the 220 that I'm going to show you later. So I just added that fish yesterday. It's doing great. So today I'm going to do a water change, take the water down a little bit, and add the driftwood into the tank. We'll kind of set up the scape together. So without any further ado, this box is open. Let's take a look at what we got. Here is an example. Look at the detail of this driftwood. I mean, it's almost better looking than an actual piece of driftwood. I mean, it looks that realistic. And it's also hollow, which means it'll sink really easily and hold into place really well. And I have a whole bunch of these. I only unwrapped one of them, but we have 2, 3 thicker. They're all different shapes, 6, 7, and 8. 8 huge pieces that we can kind of stack vertically, horizontally, and kind of diagonal, try to make it look as natural as possible. It's going to be a lot of fun. We get to kind of scape a tank, which I don't get to do very often since these have been set up already. So I figured I'd give it a little test run in kind of setting up the scape as if the cabinet is the back of my tank, and kind of set it up how I kind of like it before I actually go ahead and drop the water and put it in. So kind of got my eye on this thick piece to maybe lay across the bottom. Pretty long piece, might be more of a diagonal. I want to kind of have them overlaying each other a little bit to make it look as natural as possible. I kind of like these long ones being upright or diagonal. So here we got 1, 2, 3, about 3.5 kind of laying horizontal, a couple diagonal up against each other, and a couple verticals. All right, I got my logs separated from kind of long, short, thick, and the weird curved one. And we got the pump in. Now all we got to do, plug this in. This thing drains super fast. It'll drain down to there in about 5-10 minutes. All right, we got the water drain just low enough to where I can maneuver some things around. Or do I need to take the whole canopy and lids off? I'm hoping to not have to. So I guess the whole first part is just gonna be dropping them in. Then I think I'm gonna have to take the canopy off so I can maneuver them around where I want them. Vieja are never gonna trust me again after this. There we go. This step stool is a lifesaver. Really excited so far. Just gotta take the time to get all these guys organized. And the Vieja are scared to death. Trial and error. And I really like how this kind of lays over the top and how they're interlaid over each other. Just gotta find a place for this guy. I don't want him just pressed up against the front of the glass. And I definitely gotta get some more vertical line of sight breaks. So I tinkered with it for about a half an hour off screen, so I didn't have to bore you with all my decision making. But here's what I came up with. I used the 4 smaller pieces. They are all very unique pieces. They don't take up too much space. I felt like the big ones were just too big And we can always come back to those. I'm obviously saving those. They're great pieces, and I can always add to this as we go, and I can always adjust as well. But so I like this right now. We got some vertical driftwood, some horizontal. We're not taking up too much floor space, but we're also giving those very important line of sight breaks. So after about half an hour of terrifying my Vieja, they are finally starting to come out and relax a little bit. So I like what we have. I'm very excited. I think it looks great, and I think it'll look even better when we fill it up and turn the lights on. So let's do that. All right, guys, so we refilled the tank. We gave it a couple hours to settle, and I think it just looks amazing. I love the way the scape looks, but I think the fish might like it even more. I know Troy's been stressing out, wanting me to give some hiding spots for these guys, and I think they really love it as well. And I can't end the video without introducing you to my new fish. This guy right here from Cichlid World Tank. He likes to look at me, so he's, there we go, turned sideways so I can see. This is a Vieja bifasciata. So as you can see, it kind of looks a lot like this Inspillum, but instead of having the black splotches all over his body and more of a dark red forehead, he has more of a pink forehead with a couple black lines. So there's subtle differences, and I think as they get older, those differences will magnify a little bit. And I think he's a perfect addition, just a little bit smaller than my guys. I got him at about 6 inches. My guys have grown up a little bit. They're more like 7. And then my marbled Finistratum back here, I call him Beef. He's more like 8 inches. And then my normal Finistratus, he's more like 7, maybe 7.5 inches. But I gotta give a shout out to my showstopper. I think this Vieja maculicata black belt might be the most beautiful black belt I've ever seen. And he's only about 4 or 5 inches. If he'll come out of the shadows, you really see that he's got great greens, blues, reds, purples, just a variety of awesome colors at such a young age. And a little sneak peek for those of you that stuck around to the end. What do we have in quarantine here? Well, it's been a stressful day for these fish, so I'm sure they're ready to be fed and have things go back to normal. So I'm gonna go ahead and feed these guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.